joining me. It's just about to rain, so I'm going to not take it up the muddy path, and we'll go this way. This is the cut through people are using now because of the mud, as you can see. Damn, it wasn't supposed to be any rain today. Right. Well, that's difficult. I got a video I need to do. It's important, this one. Well, I hope I can get to do it. I'm in a very wet ancient wood, and this is a sloping bit that anyone who knows it doesn't go down that way. They take an angled path, avoiding it. Anyway, hello properly through a portal, and hopefully it is raining, isn't it? Oh well, I'll try and stay as undercover as I can and just adjust you. Well, basically I want to talk about healing recovery times. This is just something that I've learned through noticing things and people and myself. It's getting heavier, isn't it? That's annoying. So I'm going to have to go through an open bit. Okay, well, join me in a bit. Well, a change of scene and a change of style. Oh my God, there's more water coming down here. This is alive with springs. Well, what happened was the rain didn't stop. It just went on and on. There was nowhere I could film, so I left. And a few hours later the sun came out and it's clear blue sky. So I'm in another place now. And again, it has really poured with rain. And I don't even know if I'm going to be able to walk this path. But I'll do my best. So, yes. Emotional recovery and healing times. This is all, part of it is just what I noticed just through my life, and what I noticed with other people, as I've said. So the first thing, for example, say you go for any kind of healing, you know, say acupuncture, reflexology, or even you bash yourself somewhere. Well, generally speaking, you don't get any kind of reaction or anything until the next day, when everything's numbed. And then it'll take another 2 days from when you did it to kind of really, I don't know, come to terms with it in some way. That's the best I can describe it. Another spring coming down here. I mean, it really is alive with them. We've never had this much water in recent years. And another one coming down here. It's crazy. Very wet. That's why it's still ancient wood. So we have moved from one ancient wood to another. And even here, look, it's coming down there. So that's one of them. 2 days. Then, if I use a few examples, you know, someone dies or you split up. Now obviously, the first few weeks, there is a bit, you're in a bit of turmoil. But there is actually a thing for this. I don't know what it's called, description, theory, don't know. Well, not theory, but because it seems to be quite, well, it fits. So you have, after any kind of big event, let's say, you have 10 days for you to absorb what's happened, process it, and become back to yourself. So on day 11, after anything like this, you're back to yourself. And the way I found this out and thought, hello, that's interesting, that happens all the time, was in having 2 weeks off. I noticed that when it came to day 11, I'd be full of plans of what I wanted to do, because I had come back to myself from the disruption of repetitive work that is against the flow, because that's what work is. Because we have to be somewhere at a certain time for a certain amount of time, and it's against our natural instincts. Sorry about me wiping myself. There's a north wind, temperatures in single figures. And then, from that, it then takes another 10 days for you to be back to yourself and process that and be able to become at one with the new you. So, you know, it's after any event. Feels like rain. So it takes 21 days to recover, process, become back to the new you, and then become the new you in your life. And that's one of the things. So that's why after, you know, a death, a breakup, all kinds of things, there's like a 3-week emotional turmoil of things happening. And then that sort of eases. And generally what tends to happen, so if I use an example of a death, you'll have the death, people phoning, they're ringing you up all the time, how are you, you know, and then you have the funeral, and then it fades away. But you've got that funeral, that's another trigger for another 3 weeks. So generally speaking, people forget after a month or so. And what happens then for the next 3 months, there's varying degrees of turmoil from being okay to being you know, up and down, quite extreme. It is lovely in here, it's autumn. Some nice colours still. And the sound of water. Really strong, that's well rushing down. So and then after about 3 months, you'll hit another peak. So, for example, say you've split up. I love this. It's just. Let's say you've just split up with your partner, and 3 months in, around 3 months, these are approximates, around 3 months in, you'll see them, or you'll see a member of their family or someone who's close to them in some way, and it'll send you off into another spin of you processing that, because it'll bring back memories. You know, it can't fail to. It brings back memories of all kinds of things. So you then have to process them. So you do. And then you'll have another peak at 6 months. And another one. 9 months generally is not one, surprisingly. And then obviously you have the year, first anniversary. So that year, that's almost like the 10 days. So the year, and then you get hit. You're back to yourself and suddenly, oh yeah, it's a year. Oh. And you'll get hit again. And then you might have another one at 18 months, year and a half. And then at 2 years. 2 years, generally, that's the time when you've accepted it all. Because there are things you have to live with. So that seems to be 2 years is a point where you kind of accept it all and you live with it, and you have to get on with it and live your life with that knowledge, or with that part of you that's gone, or you know, that memory of that person, whatever. You live the rest of your life with that. Now, having said all this, ooh, don't know if you can see those all hidden. Now, having said all this, these are sort of approximate dates. Like I said, you know, there are things that you may never recover from. It's quite possible you may never recover. And you have to learn how to live your life knowing that, with you, and carry it with you. So these are approximate. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, although they do call me Dr. Love, because I'm the doctor of love. Sorry, I couldn't resist that. Some of you might know where that's a reference to. For me, it's a reference to being 14. So that's when I first heard that. And there's a clue. So I'm just going to try and wander along here. I have to keep looking down and watching my footing, because it's so slippy these days. It's crazy. I'm going to find a way back to the path. So generally speaking, it's always a way of finding your way back to you, the core you, and then integrating the new knowledge of the new you, so that you can then move forward as one in a completeness and a wholeness. And that's what you're trying to do. But they're all times when, you know, you're processing stuff and growing and learning. Because when we leave this life, we're always our souls. And some of us are that during this life. But the, you know, talking about the like 6 months, year and a half, 2 years time, they're often where you'll have an incident. There will be something significant that marks that time. like I said, you know, running into your ex with someone else, or just seeing your ex somewhere and sending you into a spin because of, you know, all your past memories. That's what it does. And that's just the path of healing and emotional recovery. And it does apply to many things of significance. Well, not always of significance. Sometimes it's insignificant things that can affect us. So you know, look out for it and see it yourself and notice it. You know, 11 days into your 2-week break, how do you feel? You feel great. You don't want to be going back to work or school or whatever it is. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope this is helpful. And you know, hang in there. It just, you know, it's one thing after another. When you least expect it very often. And it's always a process and growing. You don't just stay as you are. You know, some people like to categorize themselves as I'm this or I'm that. Well, you don't leave, you know, when you leave this life, you don't suddenly say I'm a musician, or, you know, or any other thing, or I'm gay, or whatever it is. You won't be leaving this life saying that, because it'll be your soul, unless you've decided to keep your soul like that forever, and in which case that probably means you're stuck. You know, everything we have in this life, everything we do is just an experience in this life. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. Check out the links below. Sign up for a healing walk, sign up for a healing session. I can even do one-to-one guidance sessions. Yeah, donate if you want to, and see you next time. Ta-da.